what are you doing here? Your last review didn't break you as much as I wished it did, so I'm here to watch over you as you endure this next episode. After all, I wouldn't want you to die on us. How bad could this next Haunting Hour episode really be? It's a comedy episode. Oh, great. Don't tell me this is that episode? That's right, everyone. The Haunting Hour did another comedy episode. Because the last one ended so well, didn't it? This is one of the worst episodes the show has ever produced, right behind Cheese Puff Aliens. And what's worse is, this was close to the series finale. This is R.L. Stine's The Haunting Hour episode, Near Mint Condition.
It's a great pair, we stick together through and through, like glue. Don't want to be a cook or a fireman, don't want to play trombone in the marching band. I just want to be a Care Bear, like you. Just want to be a Care Bear.
So our episode opens up on two gamers spouting exposition about our real main character, the creepy nerd staring directly into your soul. This cliched nerd is Ted.
Ted! Do they know you're a fraud, Ted?
Apparently, he's been wasting his life patiently waiting for a package to arrive. And of course, it arrives right after the exposition was delivered to us. And we get our first major problem with our quote-unquote hero.
Your leg tracker said you'd be here by 1. You're 42 minutes late. I appreciate your lack of respect for the sanctity of the buyer-shipper relationship.
Yes, you'll notice something a little familiar about our main character. A certain other popular TV show character is exactly like him. Just look and tell me if Ted reminds you of somebody else.
This is way cooler than a car. I give you Mangler.
Too late. I see it. That elf sticker says to Sheldon. The die has been cast. The moving finger has writ. Hannibal has crossed the Alps.
Go back to your plebeian video games and leave me alone. Get out.
Sorry. No. I brought this on myself by being such an endearing and important part of your life. Yes. You're my ride.
I'm hungry. Mom left you in charge. So you're completely helpless? Yes, feed me. Go away. Go check the fridge. Go to Jason's house or something.
I should hope so. That's from the first Spider-Man movie. Now, I assume we're splitting the check.
Fine, then maybe I should go.
Could you? That would solve everything.
That's sad. What's sad is your complete lack of intelligence. This is the holy grail of toy collecting. It's an epic find. From 1982 to 1984, Robo-Bears was the #1 rated animated show on TV. Set in 3082 in a world where evil robots have taken over, humanity's last hope is this heroic band of cyber bears to protect them from the cold, heartless machines that enslave them. In Season 2, they introduced Mangler, a double agent who claims to fight for good, but really he fights for the machines. He was an instant fan favorite, spawned a huge line of toys. Here, look at this.
You'll appreciate this. Leonard has some ridiculous notion that you're mad at me. You tell him you're not mad at me. Go ahead, set him straight.
I'm mad at you, Sheldon.
Eat one of your Luna bars. Very often when women think they're angry, they're really just hungry.
That's right. Our main character, the cliched nerd stereotype, is a total ripoff of Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory. He acts like him, he talks like him, he dresses like him, and he even acts like an over-the-top nerd stereotype exactly like Sheldon Cooper. You mean he's some sort of homage to a beloved TV character for families to laugh at? No. I mean, the writers of this episode completely ripped off another character and tried to pass it off as one of their own comic reliefs. It's like the writers of this episode looked at one episode of The Big Bang Theory, which was the #1 comedy on TV for a long time, and stole the show's trademark character and jokes to pass it off as their own attempts to be funny on a show that was never meant to be a comedy to begin with. I mean it. This character is a complete and utter ripoff of not just Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory, but also every cliched nerd stereotype in the book. Now, R.L. Stine has been able to write nerdy characters like actual human beings in a lot of his past stories before, so this is all the fault of the piss-poor writers who won't let these outdated, cliched stereotypes die. This show came out in the 2010s. The nerd stereotypes weren't funny then, and they're certainly not funny now. Please, let these stereotypical nerd cliché characters die. So, instead of calling Ted by his actual name, I'm going to refer to him as Sheldon all throughout the rest of this review, because it's obviously him.
Do they know you're a fraud, Ted?
It turns out that Sheldon bought a Borg Care Bear. Okay, I'm just going to add a little rip-off meter on the side to show you every story that this episode alone is ripping off. Oh, and you'll love this. Sheldon actually spent $5,000 on this stupid Borg Care Bear instead of purchasing a car like his mother asked him to. The mother doesn't appear in this episode, so he gets off scot-free for this.
Have you told them there wasn't any money?
You mean somebody would be stupid enough to buy a hideous toy at $5,000? I know, right? Who'd want to have a stupid, ugly animal with cybernetic parts attached to them? A half-animal, half-cyborg hybrid? Who'd ever create something so stupid? Heck, they don't even give the cyborg animal a real backstory. So you can probably guess the blatantly obvious and figure out that the doll is of course alive. And the writers began repeating their own plots by ripping off the better episodes on their own show. This plot of the psychotic killer doll has been done before and done better with Lily D and even the Worry Dolls. Thanks for giving us another episode that stole the creepy doll horror story, writers. Oh, but now we get the evil teddy bear, because doesn't this monster look like it's going to haunt your nightmares? Beware the Borg Care Bear, everyone. So, Sheldon obsesses over his stupid toy as his unnamed brother and unnamed idiot best friend question why he's bothering collecting an ugly teddy bear. I know they have names in the Haunting Hour Wikipedia, of course, but to be honest, do any of you remember all the names of the humans in this show? And we reach another big problem. Nobody in this episode is likable because they're all colossal jerks. Sheldon is an annoying, know-it-all nerd stereotype who brags about his intelligence and superiority, like that other character. Idiot brother and idiot friend both make fun of the main character for collecting toys, losing any relatable or likable characteristics. And the Mangler, Big Shock, is out to kill them for no reason and never speaks in the entire story. You know, despite being the main antagonist. But aren't the villains scarier when they never speak and hide their hidden evil on this show? Yeah, but they lose a lot of intimidation points when they look like this. The writers honestly think that this stupid bear is actually going to scare us. What gets weird is that this episode is supposed to be a comedy, but it totally fails to make you laugh because everything is still taken seriously. Since the Mangler can't talk, that means that our human characters are the comic relief, so it's up to them to make us laugh. Oh, goody gumdrops. But this episode suffers the same comedy trap that so many bad comedies often fall into. They think that making the characters obnoxious jerks is comedy gold. But lots of comedies succeed at making stories where the main character is a jerk with the heart of gold. How does this one fail? The problem is that they are mean jerks throughout the whole episode and never get any sympathetic moments to make us want to see them live. Sheldon, idiot brother, idiot friend are all jerks who are too unlikable for us to want to see them live and get through this horror story. They never treat each other with respect and bully each other of their respective interests and personalities. Because that's what likable heroes do, right? Insult each other? Where was I? Oh yeah, idiot brother and idiot friend laugh at Sheldon for liking the Care Bear. When Sheldon shows them why he's so into his toy, we get what is the only, I repeat, the only funny moment in this whole episode. Sheldon shows the Mangler appearing in a cringe-inducing 80s toy commercial to justify why he likes it. I feel this is meant to be the Haunting Hour's attempts to mock My Little Pony Friendship is Magic for its constant pony commercials, but the rest of this episode's stupidity made me question that theory. However, any attempts to make this joke funny are rendered completely irrelevant when the story does a complete 180 by changing from funny to serious when Sheldon says that the Mangler is rare because there's a rumor that the toy caused hundreds of kids to die. Yes, these toys mutilated hundreds of children, and it's all played for comedy. That is funny. So, yet more unfunny jokes as idiot brother and idiot friend still mock Sheldon as he chases them out of his room. We then get a scary phrase from Mangler. We then waste time on a pointless jump scare of the brother and idiot friend mocking Sheldon about his love for the bear because the writers think you'll like them for being bigger jerks than Sheldon. That night, the Mangler finally decides to make his move and attempts to kill them. So he breaks out of his display case and is about to kill Sheldon. But for literally no reason at all, the Mangler decides to instead go across the street to kill the neighbor idiot friend. Yes, the Mangler, who has two easy targets to kill right inside its home when they're sleeping, decides to instead leave the house and go across the street to kill the idiot friend who he sees is still awake, ruining his own chances at easy kills. So the Mangler somehow manages to easily break into the house across the street and find his way to idiot friend's bedroom, despite not knowing the house's layout at all. And don't say he adapted. We then get to see him rip off Terminator and Star Trek in his point of view at the same time.
We are the Borg. Lower your shields and surrender your ships. We will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own. Your culture will adapt to service us. Resistance is futile.
Now that's comedy.
So, Borg Bear jumps and mauls idiot friend. Oh, but guess what? We find out the next day that Mangler didn't even kill him. Yeah, he just mauled him and left him alive, even though he can warn the entire world about the toy's existence and its sentience. And we also see that the Care Bear didn't bother killing Sheldon or idiot brother either, despite, the high chance of it going on a murder spree and massacring all the children like we were told it could do in the beginning. Wouldn't this cyborg be more efficient if he simply slaughtered all the main characters in a single night while they were asleep? You'd think so, but no. The Mangler just mangles one kid, not even killing him, and calls it quits for the night because he needs sleep too. The Mangler is really shaping up to be this series' worst villain, but we'll see how this plays out. So, coincidence of all coincidences, idiot brother manages to find a blue fuzzball on the road as he sees his best friend taken into the hospital. Yeah, because the police or even animal control couldn't find the obvious evidence right in front of them. He confronts Sheldon about the possibility that the Mangler did this, but of course he doesn't believe him because he's Sheldon, and Sheldon always complains about people who disagree with him. Idiot brother says that his friend was actually scared into a coma. Yes, the stupid Borg Bear scared the kid into a coma, rendering him unable to tell people about the monstrosity of the teddy bear. I brought this small point up because it's another ripoff. This was done on the first episode of Code Lyoko. It had a killer cyborg teddy bear that assaulted children and random people too, but it was 10 times more better than this stupid plot. I also love that the brother calls the teddy bear a sociopath because it's actually meant to be taken seriously and not one of their dumb jokes. One wasted scene later, the idiot brother tells Sheldon that they should question the previous owner of the stupid toy. We jump cut to a new house where we meet a crazy old lady. And I'm not going to lie, but this whole scene with the brothers interrogating the old lady is entirely pointless. It's been subtly implied that this episode might be trying to teach people a lesson to stop obsessing over their nostalgia, but that concept is completely pissed away because, 1, the main character Sheldon is totally unsympathetic, and 2, he never learns anything by the end. Yeah, spoiler alert, nobody changes for the better in this episode, and Sheldon remains a jerk all the way. This pointless scene just drags on and on until it gets slightly creepy when the old lady starts yammering on about her life story as the brothers give up and try to leave, but she keeps pulling them into a conversation. Oh, but then the old lady turns into a massive hypocrite and does a complete 180 in personality, because when the brothers ask her questions finally, she calls them the freaks and leaves. So the idiot brother still thinks Mangler is still alive, while Sheldon argues that he's not. So this whole scene was entirely pointless in the end, because it changed nothing. But the brother wouldn't have received confirmation to prove this theory was correct. Hypothesis is important. That doesn't mean anything, because Sheldon already refused to believe that the bear was alive, and the brother already knew that Ford Bear was indeed alive, and the scene wasn't funny or scary and contributed nothing. It was just padding in a story where a villain is a Care Bear Terminator. So after wasting our time with nothing plot-related, idiot brother asks Sheldon to lock the Ford Bear away just in case, to which Sheldon complies because we need suspense. Oh, and don't forget the other scary face. Despite locking up the Mangler in the garage, it of course escapes through incredibly stupid effects and comes after idiot brother.
Fuck you, asshole.
You know, this would be scary if our villain wasn't a stupid cyber Care Bear. Say what you want about other stories with creepy dolls, but at least Lily D was genuinely scary. The Mangler is not scary, it's stupid. Sheldon wakes up and finds his brother beating on Robo-Bear. Naturally, he assumes that his idiot brother is crazy and out to destroy his bear. Just when you think that the Mangler has outsmarted the two, he stupidly reveals himself to Sheldon. Yeah, for no reason whatsoever, the stupid bear gives himself away and goes crazy attacking the brothers. Wouldn't he have been more clever if he continued faking his non-sentience to fool the collector and continue murdering them undetected? The Mangler could have done a number of intelligent ideas if he faked his innocence, but for no reason he starts attacking them so he can get a final battle going on, instead of showing the Mangler had some intelligence. So after stupidly giving himself away, the Mangler runs away from the fight he caused. And instead of doing the smart thing by leaving the house to escape, he chooses to continue stalking the idiot brothers to kill them. We then get our wacky hijinks as the two brothers hilariously try searching for the doll in a stealth battle. Yes, because that's what the story about a psychotic teddy bear that kills kids was missing. Two idiots getting into wacky adventures as they search for a monster. Also, ripping off the Nostalgia Critic versus Teddy Ruxpin. After more stupid jokes, the brothers chase the Mangler, who traps himself in the closet.
John, you gotta come out of the closet. Oh my God. Okay, it's like, if you don't come out, can I at least come in and talk to you?
Well, okay, but no tricks.
No tricks. Hey, it's really nice in here.
Yeah, see?
I feel really safe. Oh my God.
Oh, and while I desperately try to keep the Mangler trapped in the closet, Sheldon actually tells his brother that he always thought he was an idiot for most of his life until they were about to die. Our hero, ladies and gentlemen. The brothers finally decide that they've had enough and prepare for their final stand. The Mangler emerges from the closet, readying its claws as the two charge each other and... it dies easily. What? All that build-up, all that time, all that ominousness surrounding the Mangler, and we get the most anticlimactic face-off in the entire series. The Mangler sucks. In fact, this stupid bear has won an award for worst villain ever. So after anticlimactically decapitating a teddy bear, I can't believe I actually said that. Sheldon easily gets over his loss, even though he paid $5,000 for it. Why? Because he, too, is an idiot, and he and idiot brother actually wrap up the stupid doll, package it in a steel box, and resell it online so somebody else can take care of it for them.
Someone else!
Yes! Someone else! Someone else! Someone else!
I'm someone else! He's right!
Once again, our heroes, ladies and gentlemen. He stopped the evil teddy bear, but then fixed it up so he could pass it off to somebody else to deal with it, while making a quick buck on the side. Oh, but then we wouldn't have gotten our stupid title drop joke. This episode was horrible. I give it a 0 out of 10. That's right, I thought this episode was worse than Pouf de Fromage. This episode shows that the writers are still deluded into thinking that they can write more comedic episodes, even though they failed at it. Even after the colossal failure of Cheese Puff Aliens, they still thought they could do a good comedy episode in their last season. Hey writers, you can't write comedy. You suck at telling jokes. Stick to killing off children. Those stories at least have horror and good themes in them.
This is bad comedy.
The Mangler is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. What's worse is that the episode doesn't let us know if we're supposed to take him seriously or actually fear him. Yes, it could be funny if the Mangler was a more comedic antagonist, but he doesn't do anything funny at all. The joke is that the villain is a Care Bear. He could have had a funny voice, silly powers, heck, lasers at least, or actually do some hilarious gags, but no. The joke is that he's a ridiculous-looking villain we're supposed to take seriously. That joke dies almost immediately because it's only funny for like 2 seconds. What's worse is the episode treats the Mangler as a serious threat because he murdered hundreds of kids, and yet it's funny that he was anticlimactically killed off. Because, ha, child death is so funny. While you could argue that the big joke was that the Mangler was built up as a big threat only to go down so anticlimactically, it still fails because the other jokes throughout this episode were so stupid. I could literally complain on and on about how much the Mangler sucks as a horror villain, heck, just a monster in general, but I think the anti-climax boss fight where he dies easily speaks for itself. Yeah, he doesn't come back either. He's really dead. He did actually die. This episode had more cringe than actual humor, and the comedy is completely ruined whenever it switches to serious mode. That is when the comedy isn't making you laugh, confusing the viewer on whether the intent was to have the story as funny and stupid or dark and somewhat serious. The main character is just Sheldon Cooper, a pretty bad ripoff of Sheldon Cooper since all his sympathy is removed, and the idiot brother and idiot friend are just there to act like jerks, and we lose a lot of sympathy for them by the fact that they respond to one jerk by being even bigger jerks. None of the humans were likable in this episode because all they did was act mean-spirited or completely stupid. I cringed all the way through this episode. If you ever want to see a comedy with a cyborg teddy bear going around killing people, then watch The Nostalgia Critic vs. Teddy Ruxpin. At least they had intelligent humor. Well, I'm done reviewing this stupid episode, so why are you still here? Oh, we're not done yet. We still have much more to go. Why are you doing this to me? I'll stop if you tell me one thing. Where can I find your friend, the wolf?